Hey guys, Rob Shoecraft here, 3 Storm Fitness. Today I'm going to talk about ring dips, rings, versus standard dips, whatever you want to call them, fixed bar dips. This is a Rogue Matador dip bar. It connects to the R4 or any infinity attachment. But you guys know, I mean, you see, there's 1,000 different variations of dip bars around the world and all sorts of different gyms. Which one is better? I did a very similar video a couple years ago. It was between ring pull-ups and straight bar pull-ups. Which is better, right? This is going to be very similar, but I do think it's worth doing, especially since I've been doing a lot of ring dips lately, and I love them for all the same, many of the same reasons that I love ring pull-ups over straight bar. But let me just go through it if you haven't seen that video. I'll put a link to it, by the way, if you want to check that one out too. Anyways, really the main difference, I'm just going to lay it out. These are easier. Generally speaking, they require a lot less stability. They still require a lot of stability compared to like a dip machine or some sort of machine where you're really locked in. The only thing moving is the prime movers, triceps, pecs, shoulders, depending on what variation you're doing. These, you are on your own for stability, right? Core, all these tiny little muscles, teres minor and serratus, everything's got to be like locked in, otherwise you're going to be wobbling like crazy. But the advantage, other than strength, I prefer these, but I will talk about why those are great as well. You should probably do both if you can. I'm just having some nagging shoulder issues between jiu-jitsu and continuing to bench press, straight bar. I want to get some accessory stuff in. Dips it's just hard to beat dips in general. They're one of the best exercises you could possibly do for upper body pushing. They're really hard to argue with. But just standard dips, weighted dips were killing me. My shoulders are getting hammered. There is a way to do them properly, but I thought, if I could do, if pull-ups, switching to pull-ups helped me with my elbow pain, my shoulder pain, doing the ring variation, and I would stand to reason that ring dips should as well. So, when you do a ring dip, right, you want to usually maintain like this hollow position. Talk about it in a second, right? Go down, back up. Okay. But if you notice, the rings sort of move with me. So they follow the path of least resistance. And why that's important is because, like when I'm over here doing these, I'm locked in place. My hands are locked in place. So basically, I can, get tight in my shoulders and everything. Retract my shoulder blades, all that stuff, depending on what variation I'm doing. But my hands are still locked in place. Therefore, if I don't have great shoulder mobility, or if I try to really if I try to be stupid and try to muscle something through something, which just tends to happen, going for that extra rep or extra set or whatever it is, and I push and I get something, the wrong, basically my forearm slips. I pay for it a lot more because that force has nowhere to go except right up the chain, usually resulting in shoulder pain. But here, not so much the case. I'm not saying you can't screw up your shoulders using ring dips, but you're gonna form to the path of least resistance. Like I said, it's like using dumbbells versus straight bar, right? You're gonna be able to just go with what doesn't hurt, right? Rings do that naturally. Like I said, they are a lot harder, right? Just simply coming up in this position, holding this position, is a heck of a lot harder than holding this position here, right? This thing's it's not really going, my body might sway a little bit, but this thing stays the same. So now I'm contending with this free-floating mechanism, right? And I gotta just get a lot tighter. So the reason I would prefer straight bar dips, or fixed bar, however you want to phrase it, is if I really want to just hammer a muscle group, right? Kind of like a bodybuilding approach to it. maybe my shoulders are feeling real healthy, and I just want to just concentrate on my dips, right? Or my pecs, for instance. So let's say, you know, I want to lean in really, really far and just hit that, right? Or just do like shallow, you know, be able to target. Because it doesn't require as much stability, you could really focus on the muscles you want to hit. So like I said, it's more of like a, for pure hypertrophy goals, straight bar is great if you have healthy shoulders. For overall strength goals, and I hate to really phrase it like that because both are going to make you stronger, but if you just want that functional fitness advantage, right? Your body kind of all moving as once. You can't fake these, right? I could drop down on those and pop back up and kind of use that elastic stretch reflex to hit a rep. These, if I do that, I don't even want to, but if I go down and cheat the form, I'm gonna be like flopping out everywhere. You cannot cheat these. I mean, you really, it's not easily anyway. But again, the main key is that it floats with you. So your shoulders aren't gonna be trapped in a bad, you know, trapped in that firefight, right? If your shoulders are not in a place that they need to be, your body's just gonna naturally move your hands to get them in a rotation that's comfortable while still being able to maintain that force. Okay, so the reason I say doing hollow on this, really hollow position in general is pretty solid. I'm kind of becoming a big fan of that. What I mean by that is doing this variation here instead of this here. And one of the main reasons is when you push and you're trying to get that extra rep, right? When you're overly exerting yourself, which is necessary sometimes to get those gains, you kind of tend to arch your back a little bit. And that's what I find is probably the biggest gotcha with when not using the hollow position, when using the legs behind you. Same with pull-ups, right? If I'm doing a, if I'm doing a pull-up variation here with my legs behind me, and I come up, right, I'm arching my back, it just puts a lot of unnecessary strain on the back versus when you're hollow. All the strain is in the core. So when you switch to a hollow position, I know this is kind of becoming a video like hollow versus feet behind, but it is important to address it, and it lends itself very smoothly to transitioning to ring dips. You're going to notice probably if you don't do a lot of direct core training, you're probably going to notice some soreness in your core. And that's cool, right? You're working. So to sum it up neatly, ring dips, one thing I should note, make sure your spacing's correct, make sure they're level and everything, otherwise you could screw yourself up. If you got like one's an inch higher, you're gonna have all sorts of symmetry issues. Obviously just take the time and set that up correctly. Also you might notice like if they're too close together, some rubbing on your skin, just minor irritations that could be easily addressed with just proper form, experience, and taking an extra second to set it up correctly. Also, you need a little bit more clearance to hang the rings, probably, than having to set up like this over here. That's another, just kind of a facilities issue, I suppose. But when it comes, I'm probably, as I continue to get older and continue to exercise, dips will probably not go away, but I'll probably continue to kind of phase these out and phase in the ring dips more and more. That's just kind of in the interest of safety. Caroline, phases. All right, if you got any questions or anything you want to add to this conversation, like maybe perhaps a disagreement, I'm open to it. Let me know. Rob Shoecraft, 3 Sword Fitness. Please subscribe to this channel. Please like this video, and please have a great day. Thank you, Caroline.